You open the door for everyone but me.
Life is a game, and some people will not like you but stay in proximity to reap the benefits of you. While you are being authentic with them, they are being strategic with you. Never forget, life is a monopoly. Have you ever slept with your enemy? Have you ever given somebody your love, your body, your time, your attention, your heart, just to be paid back with exploitation, manipulation, betrayal, and heartache? Has that ever been you? Ladies and gentlemen, as I always say, life is a game. Life is a monopoly. You can't opt out of the game of life. The only time you opt out of the game of life is when you go to heaven. But as long as you're a human being walking this earth, there is a game being played in the background. And if you are not aware, you will be the prey. Shout out to Miss Jana, sending her love, healing, light, and comfort. Miss Jana, unfortunately, was a part of a game that she wasn't aware of. This guy that she was in a relationship with had a private group chat messages talking about her allegedly to his friends, calling her the N-word, saying that he doesn't even care about being with a black woman. He doesn't like black women, and he's ready to get it pushing. How many times do people get used in life because you're moving authentic with somebody while they're being strategic with you? Everybody that comes in your life, ladies and gentlemen, is coming to take. Most authentic people are not coming in your life to take, but still, you have to judge everybody like the same. Like my grandmother said, in island culture, there was a saying. My grandmother said, Mel, when a fly is flying around your house, can you tell if it's a male or a female? And I said, no. She said, you can't tell if it's a male or a female. That's how you deal with people in life. You deal with people where you don't know who they really are yet. So you have to treat them all in a baseline way. So this woman gave her heart away to a gentleman to get exploited for her resources. Women have to be careful when you have notoriety, fame, a big following, whatever it is that you have. People want to exploit that. Men and women want to exploit that. And she lost the game. She failed that game. The game, he won and she lost. Why? Because she's the one that got her heart broken and publicly humiliated. He's not sorry. I'm sure we're going to get some type of lame chat GBT public apology because he's losing, now he's losing money because he's losing followers on Instagram and he's getting bashed by people. So they always give an apology. They always apologize when, it starts to bring their reputation down. But again, this is a learning lesson for men and women is, are you sleeping with your enemy? Put it in the comment section. Do you feel like you're sleeping with your enemy right now as we speak? Survival of the fittest. Life is, eat or be eaten. Okay? And there was a game being played by Janae and Kenny, and unfortunately, Kenny won and Janae lost. Why did Janae lose? Because she's the one that got her heart broken. She's the one that got publicly humiliated. And she's the one that allowed him into her territory. She was the one with the notoriety. He got clout from her. Nobody knew him. So she gave him some of her black girl magic, which he doesn't even believe in because allegedly in those texts, he was calling her the N-word. Right? Imagine being in an interracial relationship with a man just to find out that he's on other text message threads, group chats, talking about you, calling you the N-word, and saying that he doesn't even like black women. Meanwhile, he's sleeping with you, capitalizing off of you, gaining momentum from your endorsement deals. Ladies, I am going to need you to put your antennas up and move through life like it's a game, because it is. It's not pessimism that I teach. It's street smarts. Honey, let me be Pablo Escobar's wife. Honey, because we're going to be locked and loaded and untouched too. Because every woman has to have some type of street smarts if you want to get somewhere. Because life is not all love and light. Not all people are good people. You may have an authentic heart. You may be kind. You may be caring. You may be real. But other people are not like that. People are clout chasers. They're liars, schemers, con artists, cosplayers. Most people are not like you. And when you understand that, you're going to keep it 100 all the time when it comes to you. But when you're dealing with people, you're going to keep them on a fine line because most people are not authentic. They have a vendetta. So I'm praying she heals. I know that she will feel better and be better. She'll be okay. I'm not too worried about Janae. She has a vibrant spirit. And then when I saw her birthday, I was like, oof, yeah, that makes sense. Some people, your energy is so bright that people just want to break you. Like, I can't even explain. Some people, as somebody in my past that's experienced the same thing, some people just want to break you. They just want to see you hurting. That's just what it is. And I think with her case, I remember that cute snippet where she was telling him, oh my God, you want me to be your girlfriend? Are you sure you want me to be your girl? Like, she's a sweet girl. She's a very sweet girl. What a heartless man. She's a very sweet girl. I wish I could send her roses. She's a very sweet girl. This is not an easy time, especially for this to be happening in the public eye. But shout out to Janae. Make sure you guys show her some love. And, again, this is what I always tell women about. You're walking through life thinking it's not a game. It is. That's why we're going to talk about this in the Life Monopoly class on Sunday. People will chew you up and spit you out in this life. You have to be able to understand human behavior, and you have to always be able to understand what is my market value in the world, because your market value will determine the level of exploitation you receive. The higher your market value, the worse people will exploit you because you have a high currency. That's why the higher you go in life, the less people can be around you because of the way that they will want to exploit you to see how they can gain traction off of it. Okay. Everybody that comes in your life is coming to take something from you. You just have to figure out what that thing is. I've spoken about this before. I think that women don't want to play the game. Women want to opt out of it. Women want to opt out of the game of life and accept the fairy tale instead, because the fairy tale is easy because it's delusion. That's why some women will say, you're too pessimistic, you're too negative. No, ma'am, you don't want to face the reality of life. And every time I speak, it reminds you about what you're running away from. So you're going to run to a fairy tale channel, a channel that is going to give you cookie cutter information, because at least that'll keep you from looking inward. But at the end of the day, life is still a lion's den, ma'am. So that cookie cutter info that you learn when you step out your doors, you're going to get eaten alive, ma'am. So instead of aligning yourself with the truth and caution, you're going to call the person that is trying to help you pessimistic. This goes back to when I say a lot of women are addicted to suffering. Because when somebody is providing you info that can make your life easier, you're rejecting it and labeling the person something negative because you don't want to make the change. Now, how does that relate to what's going on with Janae and Kenny? If you think this video is to bash Janae, you might as well click off. That's not what I'm here for. I don't use my platform to bash women. I use it to enlighten the masses, which includes women. I always tell women that women approach men with love and romance in mind, while men approach women with a goal in mind. Men don't just meet women and just fall in love like that. It happens over time. I saw a lot of clips of Janae sitting with him and talking about kids and saying we should have a YouTube channel where we make videos for our kids and, they can go back to the videos and look. And that's very sweet. That's very sweet. But what Janae has to understand is men are not like that. I keep telling women, the fairy tale, you need to put it away. Okay? When you are, especially in the dating phases, when you are dating a man, you have to take your time to find out if this person is even genuine. The last thing to talk about is marriage and children. If I'm being honest here, I think that a lot of women have a strong sense of naivete. I do. I think a lot of women are naive. That's why women call me pessimist. Some women call me pessimistic, because you're so embedded in your naivete, in your fantasy, that when a woman speaks reality, you can't get with that. So you call it pessimism. You want me to tell you that a man's going to pull up to your house on a white horse, knight in shining armor, and scoop you up? Ma'am, I can't tell you that, because that's a lie. I can't tell you that. You want me to tell you that when you get with a man, just put your guard down, fall in love, this is your king? I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that, because that's not reality. When a man aligns himself with a woman, he has a goal. Whether it's sex, notoriety, connections, exploitation, there is always a goal in mind. And if you refuse to play the game as a woman, you'll just lose. That's all. You'll just lose. Now, Janae's a beautiful girl. Stunner. Beautiful bronze babe. She's gorgeous. Janae's gorgeous. However, if I was near Janae, I would definitely teach her a thing of two about being a black woman with some type of notoriety. We'll talk about that in the Bronze Babe Patreon. You guys, the Bronze Babe Patreon is a private Patreon specifically for black women. I love all you guys, no matter what your race is, but I have that Patreon for black women specifically because I'm tired of seeing black women get played in society through way of exploitation. Women get exploited in general, but black women get exploited more, and it's more hostile in my personal observations. This kind of reminds me of, the Wizard Liz. A man aligns himself with a woman that has some type of notoriety, aligns himself with a woman that has a following, that has some type of, audience, and they want to capitalize off that. Now, let me tell you, there will never, in the history of life, be a time where a man will sit in front of my camera with me. I've never been in that type of love. I know men and I know women. And because I know men and I know women, I deal with them in specific ways according to what I know about them. And what I know about men is they have a tendency to exploit a woman that is on a path to greatness. Do not bring that man on your camera, ladies. Do not allow him to move in. Do not put his name on the deed. What you have is what you worked for, and it must be protected. That is what happened to the Wizard Liz. Another man that aligned himself with a woman with a larger following, with more emotion than him. And she, again, because she fell into love, fantasy, said, let me bring him on camera with me. Let me share my audience with him. Why would you do that? He can love you off camera and off your Instagram. Posting men, pass. Bringing men on camera, pass. He can love you behind closed doors. Because the way that a lot of men operate, unfortunately, they will embarrass the hell out of you. And at least take your L's in private, not publicly. Okay? Okay. Now, with Janae, there's a couple of things going on here. The first thing is she let love get in the way of sound judgment. Anytime a man approaches you as a woman, you should automatically think, what is he trying to take from me? Am I willing to bargain? Because he's coming to get something. But women don't think like that because women don't view life as a game. Women view life as a fairy tale, and it's not. A lot of women don't see the reality in life. That's why women will poke the bear and then be shocked when you unleash on them. Women will perpetually bully a woman. And when the woman finally reacts, everybody is shocked. A lot of women are not living in the realities of life. They're living in a made-up mental utopia. The reality is, every time a man comes into your life, he's coming with an agenda of some sort. And if he proves you wrong, and he's genuinely coming in to love you, great, even better. But majority of the time, he wants something from you. And you have to ask yourself, are you willing? Is it going to be a good exchange? I personally feel like Janae already had notoriety. So a woman with notoriety needs to align herself with a man with notoriety. You don't align yourself with a man who doesn't have notoriety. If you have notoriety or whatever as a woman, I don't recommend it. Men are just just the way that men are. Men have to have more than you in order to not view you as threatening. That's my personal opinion. If a man doesn't have more than you as a woman, it's never going to end well. There will be some women who lie and say, oh, well, that's not true. My man is a house husband. Ma'am, nobody wants to hear any of that. The psychology of men, the way men are constructed, men will usually exploit a woman that is superior to him. Always. It's a way for them to even out and balance the scales. That's why I tell women, don't do it anyways. Because he's going to exploit you to level out the playing field. But women let love get in the way. Oh, yeah, well, it's okay. I'm going to give him opportunities too. I'm going to bring him on board with me too. Okay. Good luck, girl. We'll see how far that gets. Now, with Janae, I think she'll be okay. She will be okay. She'll be okay. But it's going to be a challenge for her now to think that, when a man is in an interracial relationship with a woman, if a man is dating you as a black woman, you're not really thinking to yourself that he secretly thinks you should be on a plantation. Like, you're not going to think thoughts like he wants you on a plantation. You're not going to think those kind of thoughts, because why would they be dating you and sleeping with you if they want you on a plantation? But when you read those alleged texts, it's a blow. It's a big blow. It is a big blow. And it makes you feel like, was it all a lie? Was it all a truckload of lies? Right? So women have to be careful, because you can be sleeping with an enemy. Like, men will align themselves with a woman for what he can gain from her. And it's not about love. The amount of times I've heard men leave marriages and tell me, Mel, I did not like her. I was so happy it ended. I'm like, then why did you marry her? If you didn't like her, why did you marry her? But I'm noticing that they'll marry you anyways, even if they don't like you like that. And this is what I want women to really, okay, you know what? I'll give you an example. Years and years and years and years ago, when I was in high school living with my parents, my mom had a friend, right? And her friend was dating a guy that was younger than her. Her friend was like 40 at the time, and the guy was like 28, right? And her friend was saying, oh, he loves me. He likes me so much. He buys me all this stuff. He's so good to me. And we're like, well, that's a big age gap. But hey, if you like it, we love it, right? Like, if you're happy, we're happy, right? We're not haters. My mom's not a hater. She didn't raise me to be a hater. That's why I don't understand women who are haters. I was never raised to be that way. So we're like, you know what? Girl, if you like it, we love it. Y'all, there was a time she pulled up to our house crying in the middle of the day. And she came in the house and like her hand was bruised, her hand. And we're like, why is your hand bruised? Because she got in a fight with him. She knocked the guy's teeth out because she found out he was cheating And when she pulled up to the house where he was with another woman that was around her age, his age, which was a younger woman, she said, "Oh, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be my man." And he's like, "Get your old ass out the parking lot." He told her, "Get your old ass out the parking lot." Mind you, this is a woman he was dating and was buying stuff for and sleeping with. And he said he didn't mind her age, and he told her to get her old ass out the parking lot. So what women have to understand is men are going to be men. I'm not saying all men are bad. There are some men who are really good men, who are sweet, who are genuine, kind. But what you have to understand is never allow yourself to feel like if it doesn't work out, the story is over. Because it's not over if it doesn't work out. That person will reap their karma. Men usually reap their karma in their older years. That's why when you go in nursing homes, men are always alone. Nobody comes to visit them. Nobody visits men in the nursing home. I've never seen it. Women get visits all the time. Men never get visited. That is really the time that they pay for the way they've treated women. That's the time that they pay for what they've done to women. That's the time that they pay. And I'm not going to go too into detail about these two's relationships because I don't know them personally. And I'm sending, Janae all the healing that she needs. And I know that she'll conquer. She'll conquer. It'll make her stronger. She'll conquer. But what I want men and women to understand is life is a game. And people are coming to take. And the more resources you have, the higher the chance of you being exploited. That's why a lot of people always ask me, well, why don't you have a lot of people connected to you? Well, I am an online person. People are clout chasers. They will get close to you on purpose to gain info and then go online and talk about you. I'm aware of all of that. So I keep my family really close to me. My family are my friends. I don't really have any outsiders that I have to look over my shoulder about. That's just my vibe. It's just too dangerous because people are looking to exploit whoever they can to get ahead. Like life is a Hunger Games, right? So nonetheless, I want you guys to understand that you never know who people are. You never know how they feel about you. People are such good actors. That's why I always tell you guys, I never let what the words people tell me move me. Because people act so well that you don't really know if they're being honest with you. Imagine talking to a woman about God, talking to a woman about love, talking to a woman about a family, living with a woman, buying her flowers, doing these kind things for her. And the whole time you're in a group chat talking trash about her to your lame ass friends. But this is what women have to be weary of. Especially black women. I'll talk about that in the Bronze Babe Patreon group. Black women who have any type, if you're a black woman and you have anything going for you, majority of people want to exploit you. Because the world believes that black women shouldn't have anything. So if you're aware of that notion, you should be 20 times more cautious to ensure that you don't get hurt in the process. Okay? Do not forget to sign up for Life Monopoly. Okay, we have 6 months left until 2026, so this is definitely not the time to play any games. Life Monopoly is probably one of the favorite courses I've created because in this course, we are going to discuss every single part of your life that needs your focus. Life is like a pie. There's the financial aspect, there's your romantic relationships, there's your friendships, there's your spirituality, there's your self-introspection. And the problem is, since we were in school and college, we were never taught the pie method when it comes to life and how we need to focus on each and every part of our life evenly. We got 6 months left, so this is not the time to waste. Get your life together with the Life Monopoly Masterclass. Finance Boss. Are you feeling like you cannot keep up with your finances? Your savings account is really dry. It's looking really dry. You don't know where your money is going, and you simply can't keep up. First of all, we're going to talk about the spirit of riches in the Finance Boss Masterclass. Yes, there is a lot of spiritual reasoning behind how money works. There's the physical aspect and there's a spiritual aspect. And in this class, we are going to discuss both to make sure that we get you financially where you need to be with the mentality that is necessary to keep your finances in order.